Good morning. Today is Monday, March 27th, and we're going to be going over the market stats for Santa Clara County. Something in the news since our last stream was the fall of Silicon Valley Bank and the turmoil with First Republic. Surprisingly, we haven't seen that affect the market too much. And another thing I want to talk about is the latest story in the Wall Street Journal talking about national real estate prices, with the Bay Area leading the decline and the East Coast having the biggest gain. So it's interesting to see those headlines and to know that we're a little bit delayed on that, since we definitely did have a decline at the end of last year, beginning of this year. But once we dig into the stats, you'll see that for March, things have picked up here in Silicon Valley. So let's jump in to the stats for Santa Clara County. Once again, we're going to go over through the price, median price, days on market, how long things are staying on the market, the number of actives and number of pending. So the ratio of actives to pending is a good stat to see how fast the market is moving. So let's start with the median price. So we can see the peak. This is the median price of a single family house in Santa Clara County. And we can see here the increase through COVID and the peak here, right, at the beginning of 2022. And we can see it's a nice decline throughout 2022. And then now we're having a nice increase here in March. So we can see here, as we've discussed, right, in the past few months, that there was definitely a decline from the peak of 1.95 median single family house in April of 2022 all the way down. And the bottom was in December. And we've had a nice uptick for this month. The median prices went up to 1.65. So things are moving despite what the news that we've heard with the layoffs and the bank turmoil as well. And one of the reasons, which we'll see, is why I believe is number of homes for sale, right? So inventory has been cyclical, right? So in the summer, it's the peak, and then towards the winter, it goes down, right? We see that here. And one thing to really note here, for this time of year, we have a lot less houses for sale than we normally do, right? So only 700 here. And look, for COVID, we had 1,300 and 1,000, right? So that's kind of what has kept the market moving the direction it has, right? So that's kind of propped up the market. It hasn't declined as much as you might think. So another thing to look at is the pendings, right? So number of houses that are selling. So for March here, right? So again, it's a little bit lagging on the availability active. So we can see here, sales volume is definitely down, right? So we can see that here, up from the end of last year, right? With only 330 in December and 343 in January, but we definitely have a trending upwards, right? But we're still lagging behind what we were before. So number of sales is definitely down. Now let's look at how long it's taking to sell, right? So again, we can see the chart here was very low, right, for the last few years, and then it creeped up last year, and we're back down, right? So only 9 days median days to sell, whereas it peaked at 22 in January. So single digit number of days to sell. So what I would say to wrap things up for this week for Santa Clara County, what we've noticed in the market is things are definitely selling a little bit faster than they were at the beginning of the year. And we don't have enough inventory. And surprisingly, despite all the news of the layoffs, people are still moving. So if you want to go deep into specific cities, feel free to reach out. And if you have any other real estate needs, feel free to contact us. We'll see you soon.